folks, welcome to another episode of Short and Sweet, where we talk all things food and drink about Cape Ann. I am joined by my co-host, Heather Atwood. How are you, Heather?
I'm good, Corey. It's gorgeous out here.
It is unbelievable. Yeah, we are here at the Harriet Webster Pier between the Schooner Adventure and the Schooner Ardell, which just took off behind us, celebrating the 35th Annual Gloucester Schooner Festival. And we
There's
actually...
the Ardell now.
Yeah, there's the Ardell. It's
behind our audience.
Picture perfect day, folks. If you have plans this week, and make a point to try to come down, there's so much going on. Parade of lights, fireworks, the parade of sail. There's going to be a Maritime Heritage Day out here in Harbor Loop. You can learn how to eat a lobster, as a matter of fact. I think Leonard Quada teaches that.
Can't you go on all the docks, on all the decks?
Yep. You can go,
like over there.
You can go from pier to pier to pier and check things out. There's scheduled designated times for some of them, but I know we're open down here today, and I think it's going to be like this all day tomorrow here at the Harriet Webster Pier. So if you don't know where we are, Maritime Gloucester, right behind there. So right by the Coast Guard station, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, we are doing this show, one, because we couldn't give up the opportunity to sit here today.
Sit here, yeah.
Yeah.
With schooners like everywhere.
Yeah, and actually because of it was the dog days of summer, we haven't had a chance to really hang out much.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
And
so,
plus we're sorting things out with
right,
our show.
Right. So do we want to get into that a little bit? Like up to date, we've had guests anywhere from my mom.
We had your mom, she was so good, yeah.
To Farnham's, where we were on location.
And your mother, Corey's mother, taught me about Mudiga steak, which has been, I've lived here for 20-something years, and I finally understand Mudiga steak. So you have to watch the show if you don't understand.
Yeah. Now, if you've seen the earlier episodes, we were on location at Farnham's, for example. I think it was the last time we did this.
Greenheads, there were greenheads.
Yeah, there were all kinds of greenheads that day. But what we'd love to do moving forward is, like we said, my mom made Mudiga steaks. Well, she brought them into our podcast station at 1623 Studios. Ideally, we'd actually be in my mom's kitchen. And either helping her out or seeing the process get done there. So I think a big facet of what we're going to do moving forward is try to visit as many home cooks in and around Cape Ann as possible.
Right. No, I thought some really lovely shows. We had Peg Lico, she made a pasta dish.
That was really nice.
We had
the
Melissa
farms,
talking about Anadama bread.
Oh yeah, Melissa Abbott, that was great too.
Yeah. But all these shows were in a studio set with curtains behind us and a table, and we were fumbling to reach the food, to eat the food. We want to be in people's kitchens. So we want home-cooked recipes. We want home cooks on Gloucester to come to us and say, hey, we have a great recipe or a great story, and we go to your kitchen and we're in the kitchen. And yeah, isn't that cool?
Really cool, yeah.
And I think we will have some great chefs on too. We have a few of those lined up.
Mm-hmm.
But to also have this home cooked quality in your kitchen, I think it could be a really good show.
I think it's one of the things that makes this area great. I mean, we always joke it's maybe the breakfast capital of the world. There's restaurants everywhere you turn, and new bars set up too. But there's so much great home cooking here. Like, why not share that with people? And you get amazing family stories and folklore and traditional speak, and we're talking about the Portuguese community, the Finnish community, the Italian community.
And you see their kitchens.
Yeah, right.
Everybody wants to see everybody else's kitchen, right?
Right. So if you are a home cook and live nearby or know someone who would be great for us to feature, please drop us a line. You can comment right here if you'd like, and we'll look through that. I trust me on that one, and we'll start setting up our schedule.
Yeah. So we will no longer be in this sort of still stage studio set. We're going to be in your kitchen.
Yeah. Perfect. So now you were talking about, we do actually have some chefs we believe lined up for the fall and winter. Do you want to talk about that for a bit?
Yes. So we're hoping to, as we said, set up this home cooking thing, but we are interested in doing all kinds of shows because we can take this show on the road.
Yeah.
As we are on a dock right now, we're going to be on a road soon. So we have been in touch with some really interesting chefs who live on Cape Ann. And I don't know if people realize that, but Frank McClelland is here. He very famously was part of Riverbend at first.
Right.
But he has the restaurant Empire. Started with Les Pallier in Boston.
I've done Les Pallier before. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And that's was Boston's 5-star restaurant for something like 30 years, I think. But he lives on the North Shore. He loves the North Shore. He has a mysterious new project opening.
Okay.
And I've been in touch with his people, and they said, we can't wait to talk to you. When we're ready, we're going to do that. So it's all a mystery. We're not quite sure what Frank McClellan is going to be doing, but we'll be invited in as soon as they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a couple outstanding invitations to be in people's yards, pizza ovens outdoors, that sort of thing. So it should be a fun fall. Of course, we want to take advantage of the weather while we can, you know.
Right. So Keith Pooler is the other chef.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about him for a bit.
So Keith Pooler grew up in Gloucester. He is a wonderful guy. His sister is a real estate agent. What's her first name?
Oh, I know. Not Kathleen.
We all know her. I'm really sorry.
You
Anyway,
caught me.
Keith Pooler
Kathleen?
grew up in Gloucester, went off and he went to the Culinary Institute, I believe, and started a really stellar career in kitchens, working in New York City at the top of his game in all the best restaurants. Then 9/11 happened, and he felt like he really wanted to come home. He got out of Manhattan, and he came home, and he opened in Somerville a restaurant called Bergamot, which is beautiful. It's been there for like 10 years now, I think. And he was in Somerville. He did really well. He got a bunch of best of awards in Boston, but his heart is on Cape Ann. So he ended up buying a place again and moving here. He has a home in Essex, and he has a beautiful backyard and a pizza oven in his backyard. And he has invited us to come visit.
That'll work.
Yeah, right?
That'll be great. And actually, someone else just came to mind too. If you've ever been to Midori,
Yes.
the
wow.
owner, Mark from Midori,
Yeah.
he used to work at the Food Network years ago, and I think he used to actually help out on Emerald's show
Oh my
way back
gosh.
in the day. And he has an extensive background. He's a chef in I think 3 or 4 different disciplines, and actually he will go to people's homes for private parties and do that between New York City and here on Cape Ann too. So, and he's hilarious. He's a fun guy, so I'd like to actually reach out to him, to Mark, and see if we could do something with him at some point too. He's got a fascinating background.
And we're planning on going around, sort of doing some, cold winter days. We show up at the Azorian and we talk to Manny, and he talks to us about that octopus, which I love.
Yeah.
And so we'll stop in at some Gloucester restaurants, Cape Ann restaurants, and do some live shows from there, right?
I think that's the beauty of the show is we can be in someone's kitchen.
Our friends here.
Oh, we got to share this too. This is gonna be funny in a second. But yeah, we can be in restaurants and bakeries, et cetera, et cetera. We can do all of that. But we can also do goofy things on the fly where, the Angler's Cafe? That's the guy who has his little pleasure boat and actually sells food to boaters. He's been out here all summer long now. Well, we saw him leaving behind the Schooner Adventure about 15 minutes ago. So Heather called and said, hey, can you pop by and either talk to us or cook something really quick or whatever, just kind of get this guy's backstory. So
So he was getting ice at Cape Pond Ice.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I think I can be there in 20 minutes. So I just saw him go by, and he's probably looking for a place to park, right? He's coming over here. All right.
I was going over there where the Ardell was. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping to meet him. 'Cause
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't, no. No, I've seen the boat 100 times just being out at Wingersheek Beach and out in the harbor here.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
I've never even seen him. You just told me about him.
Yeah.
So
and
does
then
he pull up on Wingersheek Beach? And
No, he docks out, you go out, you take the boat to him.
That's
Yeah, so he's out on the water and you go to him.
What a service.
Yeah, so he was out there for the Riverfest last weekend.
Yeah.
He was right up at Cressy Beach. He had a ton of action out there, so.
There's so many questions about this.
Yeah, so we're hoping, so fingers crossed that we can actually spend some time with him. He's got to do some maneuvering to do before we chat with him. But anyway, that's the kind of point we want to get across is we want to take this on the road. We want to share all these amazing stories with you and great dishes, of course, as well. And we're just in a really lucky spot to be able to do that.
We are.
So.
We are, yeah. So it's going to be really fun to have. It's going to be visually a lot more interesting, and we hope even more entertaining than it's been already.
Yeah.
So send us your home cook best friends, or send us your recipes if you're a great home cook. Right?
Yeah, I know. So what else is happening, Heather?
Well, I have this list here.
Yeah.
Because we have all these schooners. There he is. There's our angler. He's trying to get in here.
Yeah,
Look
I think
away.
Matt's on the case trying to capture.
Oh, good.
Channel 14 in case you have to get in touch with him this weekend.
Is that how you place your order?
You can, yeah.
Yeah,
Right through
really?
your radio, yeah, on Channel 14.
Unbelievable. So does the Board of Health apply to him if he's just like on the open seas?
I have no
That's
idea.
my question.
Yeah.
It's like, do
Maybe
rules
we're
apply?
starting trouble here.
I
That
know,
we.
exactly. All right. So anyway, I have this list because we have all these schooners, and I figured that people, if they see me sitting here,
It's a schooner adventure.
that's how the adventure leaves the dock.
Yeah, well, you should have heard the Ardell a little while ago.
there is the Ardell.
They did that times 10. So
I
yeah.
gotta wave to this guy. So give me his back.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The folks, by the way, if you haven't figured it out, we're live at the Schooner Fest. It just kicked off today, the 35th annual. We're here at the Harriet Webster Pier, right behind Maritime Gloucester. I can tell you right now, we talked to people from the Adventure and the Ardell, and they actually have room on the schooners throughout the weekend, so you want to check their websites ASAP to see if you want to sneak on with family and friends. I think all the fireworks ones that they do, I know the Landon does that, it's a big one, is already sold out, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I have been on the Adventure a couple of times this summer, and it is an amazing
Yeah,
experience.
it's really cool.
I really, really love it. And you know, they're going to the Isle of Shoals.
Yeah,
You could do that trip. Have you ever
yeah,
done that trip?
I haven't done that one, nope.
I would like to do that
No.
trip. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, we should wave to the people on the
Oh, hi,
Adventure.
hi everybody.
Hi.
Oh, there's Melissa Cox, Jessica
Oh.
Biker. Yeah.
So what I was saying is, because I like to think about what people ate in the old days, that I actually did look it up. What did they eat on schooners, or what did
Really?
They, yeah, I
You did homework.
I did some homework.
Oh,
hey.
nice.
So in 1895-ish, when the Adventure was built like in the early, like in 1911, I think. around
Okay.
then. But anyway, around that time, if that ship was leaving Gloucester Harbor, it would have on board, the cook would have, filled that,
Stow it away,
stowed
yeah.
away, 5 barrels of beef. I don't know how much a barrel is. 1 barrel of pork, 1 barrel of ham, 10 pounds of flour, 50 gallons of molasses, 15 barrels of potatoes, and 200 pounds of butter.
Nice.
Right?
For a day trip? That's a lot of pork.
Yeah, right. Well, there's no fish, right? And I'm still fascinated by our angler.
Yeah.
And you had Peter Souza and Audie on before,
Mhm.
and they told me there definitely would be salt cod. That wasn't on my grocery list.
No
here.
kidding.
Yeah. So I don't know about the salt cod, but it's kind of interesting to imagine. This cook had to create 3 large meals a day for 8 to 12 people, and breakfast would be donuts, pancakes, potatoes, porridge.
Huh.
Dinner, meaning lunch, would be meat, soup, fish, baked beans, pudding, cake, bread, biscuits. Supper would be leftovers, and snacks in between.
Well, now I wonder if there was a dedicated cook.
There was, yes.
Because nowadays they usually rotate unless
Yeah.
someone's really good, you know.
No, they definitely had a dedicated cook.
Huh.
It was 8 to 12 people on the ship, and the cook was in charge of, stocking up, and he was working really hard. And half the crew would eat. No, it's right.
It's so ridiculous.
I'm so excited about this. So half the crew would eat because the other crew half had to be working, because somebody always had to be working, because if there was fish to catch, that was the priority.
Right.
Right. So they would switch back and forth. So that the cook was like having to be on top of it, having to have food ready almost all the time.
And it's interesting that you say that, because even today, before the fishing crews go out, you'll run into them at Market Basket, Stop and Shop, and they'll just have 8, 9, 10 shopping carts lined up in a row, and they're getting ready to go out.
Wow.
So yeah, you can always tell. You can always tell when the guys are going out, because there's that. And you can always tell when they come in, because if you end up at one of the bars, it's usually like it's a free-for-all. They just kind of let the tab roll.
Yeah. Right.
Good
So that
dudes.
still happens.
Every now and then that happens. I mean, yeah, but I mean the fleet's declining,
Yeah.
but if they're loading up for a big, I guess the tuna season's been really good this year and
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Lobstering's been really good
Yeah.
in the last few years. So, and they say some of the stocks are coming back and doing well. Redfish sort of came out of nowhere. So we'll see. I mean, we're holding on tenuously to the fishing industry here, and things are moving quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still crews out there doing it.
I just went out on Paul Vitale's fishing boat,
Yeah.
the Angela and Rose, and it's just so funny because he's such a family guy. I mean, he is all about getting home and getting home to his family. So the idea of him going to a bar, he said he's never even seen the inside of those bars.
Well, you give me a call. I'll fill you in on whatever you need to know. Yeah. I can tell you when they changed the wallpaper. Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
It's hard to have a favorite because you're there for different reasons. Like, one thing that always stands out, and we should definitely do a show on the great bartenders.
Yeah.
You always know the best bartenders around.
Okay, so
the area.
why do you go to Pratty's?
Well, it's walking distance. Well, it's a mainstay. It's what I love about Gloucester, especially the drinking culture, status doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So you can be at a bar stool with somebody worth $100 million and someone worth $100, and no one knows and no one cares.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of liked that about it. And Pratty's is just a pretty chill vibe. It's sort of where you
My
can,
daughter goes to Pratty's.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
10 a.m., 10 p.m. I mean, that's, you
I
know?
don't think I know that she was there at 10 a.m.
But then there's like a place like the Crow's Nest, which people get spooked about, and it's like, it's so tame,
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe it, you know? And great bartenders too. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. You know,
So what do you order at the Crow's Nest?
well, I'm a beer guy. I don't do
Oh,
a mixed
okay.
drink usually. I'm gonna have to be kind of out of control for
Yeah.
that. But I mean, I like my beers, and I like Guinness, and I like a 3-minute pour, and I like it when this one's halfway done, start setting up the other.
Do you
and
like Guinness?
I love Guinness.
I
yeah.
love Guinness too.
Anything like stouts and porters are my thing.
I like those too.
Yeah. I can't
It's
do
like
this
food.
whole.
That's why I like them.
Yeah, but this IPA craze, I'd like to bust bottles over some of these people's heads. I can't. It's ridiculous to me.
I just think they taste rotten.
It tastes like everything I'm allergic to. Wet hay and grapefruits got in a fight, and now I got to drink that. No thanks. It's like- yeah.
That's really funny. Okay, so let's say you're starting the night out. Where do you start?
Well, this all depends on what the purpose is. Because I grew up in Magnolia. There was always a Magnolia pub. Great
Oh, yeah.
bartenders there. Some have been there forever.
Well, then you're never going to leave.
Well, but then you're kind of you're kind of
Right,
landlocked
yeah,
over there if
yeah.
you're doing that. But if you're doing the crawl, like that's the cool thing about here is you can have your martini at the Franklin. You can have your margarita or jalapenos. Tono has great drinks, all fresh stuff, really good bartenders. I mean,
Short
you
and
can
Main.
short and Main.
They have
There's a
beautiful cocktails, yeah.
it's hard to find a place where you didn't have a great time.
Yeah.
You know, and plus the cool thing too here is like you make your own fun. Usually before you show up at a bar, you're kind of in the mood already.
Right.
You're looking for fun, and you might be halfway there, and then it just enhances the experience. You have the great music scene,
Yeah.
good food, good drink. You know, a lot of these places are really underrated.
So how about going out here in the summertime versus the winter? It's a different mission, right?
Yeah, well, because summertime, everyone's fixated on get me near the water. I want to sit on the water and look out at that. So places like Mile Marker, Captain Carlo's, My Place by the Sea in Rockport, wherever you can take advantage of that real estate, they do that.
Right.
And then once you want to get down to business, the tourists go away, the kids get back to school, football season starts, the leaves fall off the trees, it gets cooler at night, and then it's more atmosphere and you're going to be indoors.
So where would you watch a game in Gloucester?
Well, Trio has a bunch of screens in there. It's hard because the sports bar thing's really hard to do here because we don't have big state university where everyone's going out to watch the college or university game because there's 400 schools in and around New England and Boston area. So it's not like we're watching the state university.
Right.
So because that's so scattered, it's hard to sustain like a Saturday 1 p.m. crowd. So the sports bar thing's never really taken off. Like
I
that
never thought
daytime
that was
thing,
why.
it's not a
That's
college
why.
town.
Yeah, right.
You
That's
know?
Interesting.
So you get more of the tried and true, the professionals. I mean, we work hard and play harder. That's kind of how it always is here. But there are places that have TV set up, but it's like Trio's got 5 or 6 set up right there
All right,
that
I
are
have
big.
to say, where's Trio?
It's right downtown on, it's where La Trattoria was. Main
oh,
Street.
the new place.
Yeah.
Oh, right, right.
But that's literally set up to have giant screens all over.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of places do that, but either have an obstructed view or it's not, or the volume's off.
Right.
There's very few places where you actually go to watch a game. And
So I'm going to jump to food just for a second.
Sure.
Because I have a new favorite Gloucester food.
okay.
So Minglewood.
Mm-hmm.
Sit outside. There, the seagulls are walking by. It's not like the best harbor view, but you're on the harbor.
They've had a killer year too this year.
Yeah, well, maybe because I'm going there now. Because of the buffalo cauliflower.
Oh yeah, I've done that too.
Isn't it the best?
It's really good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
awesome.
love that meal.
Yeah, and then everyone jokes when I order it, and then they all eat it, and then we end up to get 3 more orders.
Right, exactly.
It's
That's
really good.
exactly what happened to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the best thing happening around here right
It's
now.
awesome. Now, have you done the cauliflower crust on a pizza yet?
Yes, I have.
What's that like?
Yeah, because it tastes like cooked cauliflower to me.
Oh, really?
A little bit raw, doesn't get like cooked enough. And that's what I really liked about the barbecue cauliflower is it doesn't have that like, that sort of vegetal taste of cauliflower. You know
Uh-huh.
how it can have that?
Mhm.
It's piping hot, and it's got that nice crust and the spice, and it doesn't have that vegetal taste.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had the cauliflower pizza?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I just think give me pizza.
Yeah,
Why
I can't.
bother?
And stop screwing around with crusts.
Please.
Don't stuff it with
Please.
cheese.
Don't stuff
Don't
it with cheese.
put
It's
4
ridiculous.
sticks of butter on it. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Just
I totally agree.
let's worry about the rest of the pizza.
Yeah. yeah.
But if we want to talk about pizza,
Please.
my measure of a great pizza is how it is the next day.
Totally agree.
So I don't like a pizza where you hold up the crust and everything flops down like that immediately, no matter how
The
fresh
next
the
day?
ingredients are. Even as you're eating it, it's got to have some heft to it. I usually fold it.
So are you saying you don't like, you want it to flop because there's so many ingredients on
No,
it?
then I'm worried about that pizza. The real soft middle, you pick up that crust and everything falls down. I'm not a fan of that.
See, I just fold it up.
You fold it up
Big
that
bite.
way, or you
Well,
fold
if
it like
if
to
it's
fold the
floppy,
triangle?
I fold the triangle.
Yeah, I do
but then I
too.
hold that bottom, like, you know?
Yeah.
So, because I like it a little bit. I know it's supposed to be gauche to like a lot of stuff on your pizza. Depending on what the stuff is, I like it.
Thin or thick? Thick crust.
I can go either way. It just has to be kind of good. It has to be toothsome, as food writers love to say.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I
your
like it
favorite
too.
topping?
Well, I can say what I don't like really is and I know it's prissy, but I don't like pepperoni.
Really?
I do not.
Yeah.
And I don't like the grease that pools in the pepperoni, and I know you're supposed to like that. I just don't. So
Artichoke hearts is my favorite topping.
I love
I don't know
artichoke
why,
hearts.
but it just happens.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll get
love it.
artichoke heart and a sliced tomato, like a Sebastian's or something. I like a
Yeah.
sweeter sauce too. I can eat anything, but I do like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of not fussy about pizza. So, but I don't like black olives that are just like
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just please leave them off. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of a Greek thing, I think. But like Greek pizza would have that. So, and I don't like.
You ready for this?
Are we on?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We asked. This is going to be great. Hey, thanks for
Hi,
doing this,
Thank
man.
you so much for coming.
All right.
I'm
What's-
Corey.
Corey.
I'm Heather.
Heather.
Yeah.
What's your name, bud?
George.
George. Thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is he? Are we?
we
Audio?
on?
We good, Beck? Or do we need this?
He's
We
going
need
to
the
talk
mic.
into this. Okay. So,
Here it is.
Mike.
You
Is it
can-
Mike?
George.
George.
Where did I get Mike?
George,
Mike.
George.
Yeah.
So George, you are the dude behind the Anglers Cafe.
I am the dude behind the Anglers Cafe.
I've been looking at you all summer long and wondering how this all came about for you.
Well, it's a long story.
Well, that's what we're here
Sorry,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that at one time that boat was the Gloucester water shuttle.
Right. Right. It looks like
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and there's a new one now that Stephen Douglas owns. They do it.
Yep.
But I got that boat and I built a house on it, and
Do you live there?
I do live on the boat now. I sold my house a couple of years ago because
Cool.
it was gone underwater
Yeah. Yeah.
with the floods. So.
Oh, where was it?
By Good Harbor Beach down Witham Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So you live there,
I
and
do.
where did you get the idea of cooking on that boat?
Well, I've always cooked, you know.
So tell us where you
I've been a
cooked.
fisherman. I've cooked on, every fishing boat,
Oh, really?
tugboats, yeah. And
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what?
I'm a good cook,
Yeah.
but I'm not a cook.
Yeah. Yeah. I got that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So they didn't throw you overboard on the boat because
No, they
It
like
must
my
get-
food. They
it
like
must
my
get touchy,
food.
right? Does it get touchy if they're working really hard?
Oh, depends who it is.
Can you give us a story?
Well, you know, if somebody goes, I don't like this, I go, listen, the peanut butter's in the cabinet.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
you don't like it, you don't like it.
What's
Well,
the most popular?
They always ask me to cook.
Okay, so you get
I mean,
invited back.
lasagna, you know, chicken parm, you know, anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you doing now? Like what? Because I've
just-
seen you over at Wingershik. I saw you out off the Cressy's Beach for the River Fest last week.
That's right.
So what sort of things can people order from you?
Right now, we're just doing burgers, dogs, sausage, pepper, and onions, and a special, like might be pulled pork sandwiches, or, you know, I had to get through the Board of Health and put 3 sinks on there and hot water on there.
That was my
Legit.
question.
See, this is a
Yeah,
legit
totally
operation,
legit.
Heather.
Yeah,
I told
yeah.
you.
Right, I was
Yeah,
worried. I
yeah.
was like, do you think the board of
I'm
Health knows?
legit.
Yeah. that's-
Well, there used to be a floating bar at one time.
Thanks.
This was? Or
Yeah, this was before we
That's-
built
This
the
is before
house.
George had anything to do with it.
No, I had everything to do with it,
Yeah.
and
So what
people are
happened?
still talking about it.
Yeah. So you park like at Wingershik.
Yes.
And people have to get their boat to you to order.
No, we deliver.
Oh, no kidding.
So do you have a dinghy on there?
Yeah, there's a dinghy right beside us. Yeah.
So do they just call you on their cell phone and they kind of wave from the beach?
Oh, you call us on channel 14
Oh, yeah, right.
on the
right.
radio or on the cell phone,
Like you did.
Yeah.
like
We
you
were ready to
did.
place an order. It was hilarious.
It was
Exactly.
beautiful.
You showed up just in time. That was great.
So it's just starting, and we're getting to be known. I'm getting return business, and it looks, promising.
That's good, man. How's the summer been?
It's all about the weather.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's building. We'll put it this way: I'll be going fishing after Labor Day.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So people know about you because they just see you, tooting around the harbor. And
You're right. And I have big flags, and they know me at Wingashiek. I'm getting a lot of repeat business.
Oh, yeah.
which is a good, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
So that's your favorite spot right now? Wingashiek?
Yeah, that's
the
definitely the best place, because when you look at that beach, that whole river it's like a freeway. They come from Ipswich, Newburyport, New Hampshire.
Merrimack, they
It's
come from all
brilliant.
over. It's
Yeah.
weird.
They come from all over.
Yeah.
And if they forgot to pack a lunch,
Oh
there
yeah.
you are out there.
That's right.
Oh, he
That's right.
provides a vital
Yeah,
source of
exactly.
nutrition.
I
out there.
find, a lot of children, they've got to bring their kids there, because it's something like an 8-year-old's never going to forget, I got a hot dog.
George, I was gonna say,
you
I'm
know.
almost expecting to see like the ice cream decals on the side of the boat. Like, when is it's like the modern ice cream truck?
I do have ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, see, beautiful.
Do you have a song that you play?
Yeah, so people know we're here.
Not yet. We're
That's what
working
the flag's
on it.
for.
We're
yeah.
working on it.
Yeah.
So what, do you have a menu that people can see? Do you?
Well, I'm working on my online stuff,
Yeah, right.
Facebook page.
But it's more like they call and just say, hey, what do you
What
have
you got?
cooking up today?
yeah, basically, yeah.
Chill,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
chill.
So have you started cooking yet?
Not today.
No?
No,
All right.
we're heading up the beach now. Hopefully, we'll get some business.
I would think so today.
All
Should
right,
be a
we'll
crazy
make a stop
weekend.
in Folly Cove this weekend.
Folly Cove.
Yeah.
No,
You'll have one customer.
That's a run down there.
Yeah, I
it's like
know.
Uber food now. We got it
Yeah.
going all over
Yeah.
the place.
So I got to run up the beach, guys.
Awesome.
right,
hey,
George,
George, it was a
so-
pleasure, bud.
All right,
Congrats.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing
I'm
this.
gonna place an order.
All right.
All right. Thank you so
We'll
much.
be working on it.
Anglers
Okay.
Cafe, folks. Channel 14.
Channel 14, 978-876-3991.
There you go.
We'll be back for the parade of sail.
Yes. Yeah, man. Have a good weekend.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
There you go. That was fun.
That was really fun. I'm
Yeah,
not
that was really
kidding. I'm
good.
so hungry. I want to order from him. But
That would have been awesome.
right? I know.
Yeah.
Pulled pork sandwich right here.
Hey, George, can we do a show on that next year?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, let's do
Okay.
that.
All right. Thank you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Have a good winter if we don't see you till then.
Small enough so I couldn't move a woman on
You got to repeat that.
Yeah. Maybe we won't repeat that one.
Okay, all right. George is a funny guy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cool.
Well, I just think that's a brilliant business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to spend some time out there.
We do.
If
We
he's
have
back,
to
yeah.
do a show on the Anglers Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
on
good.
the Anglers Cafe.
I, I know. Yeah, we could do. That's a local life. There's a whole bunch of things we can do with that guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what else is happening in Atwood? Anything?
All
I'm
right.
kind of. I will say I'm kind of excited about what's going on this
am
fall and
too.
winter. I mean,
Yeah.
so we're just kind of we're working on our mobile unit and paring things down so these aren't such big productions. We can kind of go on the fly. Like if we really wanted to hop on right now, like we could go and do that and have great audio and visuals and be live on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. We're working out the kinks right now, but that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And this is such a beautiful place, and there's so many interesting sites we can go to on location.
Yeah.
that This show could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kathleen, we haven't talked about Kathleen at Savor.
This is true,
We're
right?
thinking about doing some sort of conversations with her where she teaches us about wines and food pairings and things like that. And she knows so much that she should have her own show anyway.
She really should. She's
Right?
brilliant. And not only does she have the great spot on Pleasant Street, she'll be neighbors of 1623 Studio, but also her home overlooks the islands right off of Good Harbor Beach.
Another
and
great
we've
kitchen
already been
for us to-
invited, so that could be something to behold as well.
Right. So it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. So stay tuned to what we have lined up for you, because now we still have to talk holidays and figure out where we want to be.
We do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to. Are we going to Hammond Castle for Halloween?
We are going to go to Hammond
That's our
Castle
first
sometime in
holiday.
October.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be somewhere near the open door for Thanksgiving, which would be nice.
that'd be
And I
really
believe we're going to
nice.
be at the Beauport Hotel for Christmas. Betches. We just found that out too.
That's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, so put your thinking cap on.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. Well, we'll have to get Sherry Zizik
Yeah.
to talk.
Yeah.
She knows food. That girl.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
She's a good cook.
What do you think?
And she has a great house too, by the great kitchen.
Does she
All right,
really?
we gotta go there. Yeah. Yeah. It's over. It's over there.
It's over there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this was. We've got another Harbor Tour coming on here.
Oh yeah? Who's
So,
in now?
I don't know. It's just so much fun.
Harbor
to sit
Tours,
here.
yeah.
I'm ready to jump on every.
Yeah, the
boat.
in-laws did that last weekend. It's really good. I think it's 2.5 hours or so. It takes you all over the place
That's
for
beautiful.
low money, real low money. Take you anywhere you need to go. It's really good.
Very cool.
Yeah, harbortours.com. So there you have it, Heather. Short
All
and
right.
sweet, on the fly. Coming at you from the Harriet Webster Pier, otherwise known as the dock behind Maritime Gloucester. We're here hanging out for the Schooner Festival, and we shot, now we're here with Maureen Aylward a little while ago. But Heather and I, what we always like to do is piggyback on those shows, because where else can you get a backdrop like this?
Yes.
You know?
And where else can you learn about the Anglers Cafe?
I know.
And what's going on at Pratty's?
I see. That's a big show.
I want to do a show there.
We covered a lot of wild topics
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
So there you go, folks. So stay tuned. We'll let you know what our schedule looks like for short and sweet throughout the rest of the summer and fall and winter. And like I said, we're looking forward to visiting you in your home. So like I said, drop us a line if you would like us to visit you and tell us what your specialty is or share any recipes, and let's get the word out.
Thank you.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
Heather, have a great
All
weekend.
right. Bye, Corey.
So weird.